Hello and welcome to The Gaggle, where we challenge and, if necessary, destroy media narratives. I'm George Samueli. With me today, of course, is co-founder of The Gaggle, Peter Lavelle. So, Peter, the Republican race is kind of shaping up to be something that no one had really expected. I think we did, but to everyone else is surprised because they had been expecting a two-man race, Trump versus DeSantis, and then all the anti-Trump forces within the GOP would rally around DeSantis, and then you'd have a close race. But instead, politicians, being what they are, very, very ambitious with massive egos, many greedy. Many Republicans have now thrown their hats in the ring. I mean, so it all started with Nikki Haley. And now, we've had Asa Hutchinson, and then we had Tim Scott from South Carolina, Mike Pence, Vivek. Then we had the guy in California, the DJ, the one who was always on Sean Hannity. His name escapes me. He's always with Leo 2.0, his sidekick.
You mean the guy that ran for governor?
That's right, exactly.
Larry Elder.
Larry Elder, exactly. He's also.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. He is.
Yeah, he's already in the campaign. And now, so Mike Pence is likely to throw his hat in the ring. Chris Christie is once again planning a run. And Chris Sununu from New Hampshire, he's likely to get in. There's a guy in North Dakota, former governor of North Dakota. I have to say, I've never heard of him, so I can't even say what his name is. But apparently, he's also on the brink of throwing his hat in the ring. So it's already shaping up like it's going to be the 2016 race. So many candidates that they can't put them all on the debate stage. They have to have these two debate stages. But this is, of course, very bad for Ron DeSantis, because DeSantis' one shot at toppling Trump is if all of the anti-Trump forces in the party rallied around him. But now, clearly the anti-Trump, the Trump vote is solid. Those who will always vote for Trump no matter what, that's solid. It's the anti-Trump vote that is now up for grabs. And so there are all these different candidates, and it's not likely that DeSantis is going to be able to pull ahead and be a kind of a serious competitor. So it's increasingly looking like DeSantis made a big mistake in getting in, because remember, there are senior figures in the GOP who could have got in, but are sitting this one out, like Ted Cruz, who was, after all, Trump's main rival in 2016. He's sitting this one out. Marco Rubio, who did creditably, at least in 2016, he's sitting it out. DeSantis had the option of sitting this one out. He didn't take it, and I think he may well have damaged his prospects for the future. Anyway, what do you think, Peter?
Well, when you go in the primary season, its momentum is everything. Okay. I don't want to rehash the whole thing on Twitter with Elon Musk and all of that. Okay. Yeah, that was a screw up, a big one. Okay?
That's right.
And you can recover from those things. You can. But I don't see, he has an optics problem in a really big way. And I blame the consultants more than anything else, because they're just greedy bastards, these people. Okay. And common sense would dictate, this is my calculus, my theory of the case. DeSantis should have just held back.
Right.
Okay. Right. And talked about what he's doing in Florida. Okay. Right. And what he's good at, okay? Right. Because the theory of the case is that Trump is going to stumble. The lawfare attempts are going to slow him down, maybe trip him up, and damage him. And that's when a DeSantis, a Ted Cruz, a Marco Rubio can swoop in. But don't go in the dirt. Don't go, because Don't do it with Donald Trump. That is a huge mistake. Now, all the people that are running, none of them expect to get the nomination. Okay,
Right.
they're doing it to increase the currency of their name.
Yeah.
Whoever gets in, if Trump does become, well, he will become the nominee. If for some reason he's elected, maybe they'll be rewarded. One of them might want to take the VP spot. I think Nikki Haley stupidly thinks that she can take that role.
Right.
Okay, no. It's a fool's errand. This is a fool's errand. Donald Trump wants the nomination for the GOP, and he's going to get it. Okay, George, this primary season is a dud. Okay,
Oh, I think so.
And what everybody's doing, particularly the cable networks, they're all dying. All of them are dying. Okay, that it's a way to generate a false, interesting, enthusiastic. Larry Elder. Oh my goodness, the blackface of white racism is in the race. Okay, with that kind of language, and it's all fake. It's all fake.
Right. Right. No, that's right. And of course, why I think it's also a huge mistake for DeSantis is that his only shot is if he goes after Trump, and he's already doing it. He's attacking Trump. Now, the problem with attacking your chief rival within the GOP is that you're providing ammunition for the other side during the general election, because of course Biden is just going to, it's going to be very hard to see how Biden can be challenged. It's possible Kennedy Jr. is going to, present a serious challenge, but knowing the Democrats, it doesn't look like it. So basically, if DeSantis scores from these attacks, he's going to obviously attack him on COVID. They're obviously fighting on that. The Democrats are making notes. And then, of course, that may well come up again on the January 6th issue. So, if you're desperate and you want to hit Trump, you're going to bring up January the 6th. So again, that's going to be used by the Democrats. That's really the problem when you have, I saw something on Fox News. I don't watch Fox News, but I did catch something from Ingram. They were saying, oh, well, I think it's good to have all this, a race because, it sharpens you. It makes you stronger for the general election. It's not true. When you have very bitterly contests within a political party, you are weakened for the general election. Every time somebody has managed to stagger through a very tough primary battle, you are weak for the general election. And, they use the weapons, for instance, Michael Dukakis, had a tough race, but what George H.W. Bush used against Dukakis was Willie Horton. But who came up with Willie Horton issue? It was Al Gore in the primaries. He raised the Willie Horton issue. I don't know if people remember Willie Horton. He was a criminal, a murderer, kidnapper, who had been incarcerated in Massachusetts. And as part of a furlough program, Willie Horton had been released for a weekend, to spend with his family. But during this furlough, he committed another murder and some kidnapping. And of course, that was used against Dukakis unfairly, but nonetheless, it was used. And then George H.W. Bush, having seen what Al Gore did, used it rather effectively in the general election. That's what happens. So that, bitter primary fights do hurt the candidate for the general election.
Well, and also, what the left, their argument is people will lose interest because of all the personal bickering and all of that. And Trump, he has his fair share of that. I don't think primaries sharpen you at all. Okay. No. I think what primaries do for a winning candidate is to build a coalition. That's what you're supposed to do. Right. And there's, because of the way Trump is, and the other, and then the never Trumpers, there's not going to be any reconciliation. That's why, and I know it's really early days, George, but I'm very pessimistic about the Republican top of the ticket all the way down to the bottom, because the conservative media talks about what they're concerned about, and it's usually elite conservative media, and they don't talk to the average person. And again, we see this entire process of alienating the flyover country. I am very pessimistic for the GOP going into this election cycle.
Right.
Okay,
No, I think so.
And DeSantis, the thing is that if the only prayer he has in getting the nomination is if Trump self-implodes, okay?
Right.
That's the only way. So
Right.
you should stay on the sidelines and watch, and don't get in the mud, okay?
That's right.
And if I was DeSantis, you really want to bicker with Nikki Haley and
Right.
Vivek? Okay,
No,
you really want to do that?
No, that's right, and that's really his problem, because he has no real pathway to getting the nomination. But if he inflicts serious blows against Trump and weakens Trump for the general election, and particularly, if Trump then ends up losing the general election, the party is going to turn on DeSantis with a rage, and that'll end, any kind of future whatsoever for him.
George is 100% right here. DeSantis is on the path to political oblivion.
Right.
Oblivion.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he can't run again for governor of Florida. It's okay. So he is a lame duck. Okay. Yeah. And now he wants to go into presidential politics. This is the worst possible cycle for you to go in. Okay. Right. And you will be turned into a cinder. Okay. And because the thing, it's impossible. It's almost an impossible task. Okay. Because you go after Trump, you're going to infuriate his base. I mean, I don't like his manicure. How dare you say that about Trump? I mean, that's how sensitive these people are, okay? They're very sensitive, okay? And there's something that we haven't seen for a very long time in Republican politics, okay? Not even Reagan gets to this point here. I think people don't understand. If you have a broader view and look further enough back, Nixon is the next one in line. What Trump has.
Yeah, exactly. And with Trump, the base is so passionate about him precisely because they think he's been persecuted, that he's a martyr. Russiagate, Ukrainegate, the 2 impeachments. Now you have all the DOJ going after him for this and that, and the state attorneys general and everything. So you think this is a man, they're going after him. And when Trump says, they're not going after me because of me, they're going after me because of you, it's you that they're really going after, I think that resonates. Yeah, that's why they're going after Trump, because they don't like me. And
can you imagine DeSantis saying anything of that magnitude? I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, everyone. I think Ron DeSantis is a good governor in California, in Florida. I think he's doing a good job. He's a great governor. But just as people said when Ted Kennedy was challenging the incumbent, people said, "You're a good senator from Massachusetts. Stay there." Okay.
That's right. Well, I think so. And again, you're challenging an incumbent, so you're weakening the party for the general election. And yeah, what happened? Jimmy Carter was, blown out of the water in the 1980 general election. That's what happens. And so, the party, is really going to resent you for it. So, DeSantis could easily have sat this one out. He's a young man. He could have campaigned for Trump, shown himself to be a good party person, going up and down the country, endorsing Trump. He'd have been a shoo-in in 4 years' time.
Who would have done that, George? Who would have done it? Nixon would have done that.
Exactly.
Nixon would have done that. See, a lot of people don't understand. Nixon always supported the ticket from top to bottom. The guy was tireless in promoting. Okay. And you know what? At every single level of the party, they remembered Dick. Dick was here, remember?
That's
okay.
Right.
It was 11 o'clock at night, and he had already been at 4 stops, but he still came. People remember that, okay? Ron DeSantis is a young, vibrant man, okay? He's got this kind of Camelot-like family. Man, that is pure gold, okay? And you know what? I don't think Trump is going to be elected. That's my gut right now. But if DeSantis were to be on Team Trump, and over the next year, tirelessly, the base will remember that. Ron was there. Ron was with.
I agree.
That's he's making a huge strategic mistake.
It's a huge mistake, and again, and the what you said is absolutely right about Nixon, because what Nixon did was in '64, Barry Goldwater had been disowned by the big shots within the Republican Party. Nelson Rockefeller and George Romney, Mitt's dad, had pretty much said, we're going to support the Democrats against our nominee. Then we're not going to do anything for Goldwater. And Nixon said, Goldwater is, is my man. I will campaign for him, even though Nixon and Goldwater were not at all, similar. He's simpatico politically. Nixon had always been a kind
water and vinegar.
Exactly. He was Nixon was always a pragmatic sort of politician. Goldwater wasn't, but Nixon campaigned for Goldwater, and that secured him the nomination in '68 because the party remembered him.
He paid his dues,
right?
And I don't want to get too personal, but my father was a huge Nixon fan. And he used to tell me these things. Just what George said. He went to bat for Barry Goldwater, which everybody knew he was going to lose, but he went out and he tirelessly campaigned for him. And Republicans remembered that.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was going to lose. He was trashed by the media. I mean, that was a ferocious campaign against Goldwater. Remember all the psychiatrists who came out and said that, he's, Goldwater is, insane and so on.
The nuclear mushroom.
And all of that. And yet Nixon went ahead and campaigned for him. And that did him. And so this was an option for DeSantis. And I think, as you said, I think he was taken in by the wealthy donors who all hate Trump. They said, yeah, you can do it. You're going to the pathway to victory. And I think it was a fool's errand. They, as he said, they are very greedy people. They live high on the hog, these consultants, and they're going to make a lot of money of DeSantis, but they're going to destroy DeSantis in the process.
Well, and also, again, these consultants, they're just really the bane of politics. These people, they really are. Okay, they're a cancer. And I have to believe that they make this calculation. I'm going to make a lot of money off of this guy, and I hate Trump, and I want to destroy Trump, and we'll destroy him during the primary. So when he faces the general, he'd be so weakened. That's our logic. Exactly. That's our theory of the case. That's exactly
what they're planning, because these people, they just hate Trump so much. They're happy to see the Republicans lose if Trump goes down with it, because this is Trump's last shot. So if he goes down, that's it.
And they believe that if you take out Trump, you take out his movement, which is a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake. Okay. And DeSantis, he can embrace it instead of being repelled by it. I think this is just novice. He's a novice. Okay. I mean, I guess he's a good technocratic. I don't, obviously George and I don't live in Florida, but I hear very good things about him. Maybe he's very technocratic and all that, and he's got some good advisor. He understands the lay of the land, but he doesn't understand the lay of the country. And he seems, I don't want to be overly influenced by all the garbage commentary and all that. Okay, but it really gets down to is how he can be part of the process in the future. This is not his time.
No, that's right. Exactly. And that just shows you that, he's an administrative person, but he has no real political feel. Anyone who has a political feel would know this is not right for you. This is, this party still belongs to Trump. This is Trump's last shot. They're not going to give you this nomination. You're only damaging your future by challenging him.
And what DeSantis has done, which by getting in, he's put himself on the same pedestal as Nikki Haley. Okay, he's in the same category. It's the same category. Okay,
that's right.
But if he'd stayed aloof, watching from afar, okay, and it's not impossible that Trump could stumble. It's not impossible in some indictments, and people say, I don't know if this is a good idea. Then he could swoop in and say, I'm going to save the Trump movement, okay, explicitly, okay. But the mistake he's making right now is to show his huge differences with it, which there aren't, okay? It's going to look contrived. He's contrived. He wants power. He's an opportunist. Every single negative attribute is going to be attached to him.
That's right. And again, also lack of judgment. Remember, Trump, before he got in 2016, had toyed with the idea of running for president for many election cycles.
Many cycles.
And each time he didn't get in. And so therefore the conventional wisdom in 2016 2015 was he's not going to get in. He's just, this is all. And then even when he got in, oh, he's just clowning around. He's going to get out. Trump isn't serious about this. But Trump knew that was the moment. That the reaction against Obama was going to work for him. But he knew in 2000, when again he was very seriously contemplating getting in, that 2000 was not the right time for him. So that Trump always had, he's not a professional politician, but he's always had that kind of that gift, to know, what's the right time.
Yeah, this primary is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
Right.
Okay, and the Democrats are. I mean, just think about everybody. This is, as the GOP, because its leaders are so damn elitist. Okay. Right. And they hate the base, they hate flyover country, and the Democrats just say, that's right.
Yeah.
Keep going, because we hate them too.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. So they're very happy about this. But as I said, now that so many have got in, that's going to just simply dissipate the anti-Trump vote. That DeSantis's only shot was if it's a two-man race. And so all of the people who hate Trump will coalesce around me. That's already gone. So, he's not going to, as you said, it's going to be fighting in the mud with Nikki Haley. There might be, Nikki Haley might do better than him in, say, South Carolina, which is her state. So it's already, it's turning into an absolute fiasco for him.
What was it when, Ted Kennedy? Why do you want to be president? Remember that story?
That was Roger Mudd. Roger Mudd asked him that question. Yeah. Which was
Ron DeSantis. Why do you want to be president?
Right. And that's the thing. He wouldn't know the answer, because again, if you want to be president, then you have to give an answer. What is it that you offer? What is your distinctive message? That's true about most candidates. I mean, it's all ego. And when you ask them, what is it that you are saying and doing that no one else is? What's your, what do you offer? And of course, none of them is ever able to answer. Trump was able to do it in 2016, but most candidates have absolutely no idea, other than, hey, I'm a cool guy and I think I should be president.
Yeah. And it really turns my stomach that Lindsey Graham is going to be in the forefront of, Mike, this is how toxic everything has gotten, everyone.
Right,
the devil incarnate is fronting for Trump.
It's that actually is very bad. I mean, we can talk about that another occasion, but that's a serious problem for Trump, because he has to keep people like Lindsey Graham on board. And so, so anything
because of money. Because of money.
That's right. But remember the money, but there will be questions asked. Are you going to pardon Julian Assange? And he knows Lindsey Graham is standing next to him, and Lindsey Graham wants to execute Julian Assange. So it's a problem for Trump.
Okay. Well, it's very early in the primary, but it's already a hash. Okay. I mean, really. And so much promise and hype was around DeSantis, but he's got two left legs, from what I can tell. Okay. And it's the consultants, maybe they already got paid out already. Okay. These are awful people. Right. Okay?
There's a lot of money. I mean, there's a lot of money has gone to DeSantis. Again, money from people who just simply hate Trump, and money that are happy to see the Republicans go down. But yeah, they're all going to get paid off.
We're going to be keeping an eye, obviously, on the primary as much as we can. I mean, it's not very nuanced, unfortunately. Okay, but that's getting to be politics is becoming very banal. Okay, in a lot of Western countries. Okay. Right. All right, everybody. This is The Goggle with Peter and George. We're on Local, so please go to thegoggle.locals.com. Visit our store, and tomorrow George has a live stream.
Exactly. It's time for my live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Come with comments, criticisms, and suggestions on the way out the door. Think about little Buddy, because Buddy said, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm running. Right. Yeah, I'm running. Well, when you ask him, well, what are you running for? Is I'm running for the tip jar.
He's got the Chihuahua base nailed
Yeah, exactly.
down.
The Chihuahua base is locked in, so that that could get you the nomination. So we want to temper his enthusiasm. So the way to do it is if you've got a few bob in your pocket, whip them out, dunk him in his tip jar, and maybe we can just stay his enthusiasm, curb his enthusiasm for running. So we're very grateful for all of your help and friendship and support. The more you're able to donate, the more of these videos we can make, the more we can work on the technology, and more important, let's keep him out of the race. So remember, if you like the gaggle, please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.